with our first guests who play happily married Hope Valley lovebirds, Leland and Rosemary on When Calls the Heart, and they are here to preview this Sunday's all-new episode. We are super delighted to welcome back Kavan Smith and Pascale Hutton. Welcome, guys. It's always exciting when we have you in our home. We're also excited, of course, for season 7 has kicked off. We've been enjoying it. This Sunday, we've got a new episode. As we mentioned, you guys are a happily married couple on the show, but in the new episode, you're actually offering some advice to another Hope Valley couple. Tell us about it.
Well, Rosemary is always keen to offer up advice.
Anytime she can talk, she'll talk.
Yeah, and so actually what ends up happening is the couple, Clara and Jesse, Clara has to kind of rein Rosemary in and say, I love you, and I respect you, but you need to back off.
Pump the brakes.
Yeah,
Totally.
yeah.
And Lee's always giving Jesse advice based on things that he would do for Rosemary, which are different than you would do for any other human being on the planet.
Yeah, it's true.
The advice is not necessarily sound.
So they're offering advice, it just may not be received.
Right.
It's all being offered,
But
though.
this is also why they're such a good couple, because they're perfect for one
Yeah,
another.
that's true.
Yeah, exactly,
Absolutely perfect.
exactly.
They are.
Well, we have a clip of the show where you guys are babysitting baby Jack, and you're discussing giving the advice to the town folk. Let's take a look.
It's just nice to know I can always count on you, even when it seems as though the whole world is ignoring me, like today.
I can't imagine people ignoring you. Who would ignore you?
Well, Jessie with the pond, Clara with the dress and the chowder, and then Elizabeth with Nathan. Really, the list goes on and on today.
Well, I can see how that would be very frustrating for you.
I just don't understand. It's though all of a sudden, no one wants my advice.
And it's such good advice.
Well, exactly, which is why it's so frustrating.
Now, here's the question. Did these people ask for the advice?
It was strongly implied. They clearly needed
They
it.
clearly needed it.
I can see what you're saying, Lee. You think I should wait to be asked for my advice.
I didn't say anything. She said it.
That's great editing, you baby Jack.
I mean, the baby is a great actor.
Yes.
Well, you know, to get those takes, it requires a lot of work. Obviously,
There's 2 of them, right?
there's 2 of them, and it's a lot of takes, and it's
There's
a lot
only
of
one of us.
coaxing. But you know, then you can see when you get it, and it's magic. It's pure
Are
magic.
you talking about me?
Well, you two, yeah. And you know what? Honestly, watching you two on camera, I said it before we watched the clip, but the 2 of you are so good. It really is like a married couple. And although you're not married in real life, you are on screen. You are both happily married for over 17 years to your significant others. It's
a big deal.
It's a big deal.
You're in that same category.
I'm in the same club.
17-year club.
Yeah, whatever that club is. Yeah.
You're getting to the 20-year
yeah.
club. You're
I'm in.
almost there. I would like to know, and for everybody at home watching as well, what's the secret? What's the best piece of advice you would give to maybe newlyweds out there who are just starting their journey together?
You go first, because I don't have anything.
Well, clearly it's
He's still trying to figure it out.
I really am.
Well, I feel like the best piece of advice I got was from my sister. When I was about to get married, there was a bridal shower, of course, and everybody was told to write on a little card their best piece of advice. Everybody's writing the normal things, like don't go to bed angry and be the first to say sorry. And she just like wrote out a recipe for West Indian chicken, and she's like, that'll do ya.
There you go.
And that's the one card I've kept all these years.
It's actually genius if you
It's
think
really
about it.
good. It's
Right?
really
Learn to
good.
cook, you know.
Yeah, of course. I love to cook, but I think you fellas, maybe, correct me if I'm wrong, happy wife?
No, I agree. That would be my one piece of
Happy
advice.
life.
As I've gotten older, I realized that taking my ego out of the relationship and just letting her have her way does me no harm and does her a world of good, which ultimately does the relationship so much good. And the more control I give up, the better it gets. I mean, doing it in friendships too. I've given up control in my friendship with you.
Don't look at me.
Well, I give up on set. Do you see that out of him? Do you see him give up control on set? Do you see that aspect?
I don't.
We'll censor this bit.
Trying to stir up trouble.
It's a journey. It's a
really
journey
great
we're
piece
all
of-
learning.
Yes.
I know it's not easy at first. I know
a
that
great piece of
firsthand. But I
advice.
try. It is a good piece
Just
of advice.
give up the power to your wives.
I just got to
It's
still
so
do it. I just got
hard
to do
Never
it.
heard.
All right, let's get back to Hope Valley, shall we?
let's.
Let's talk about some of the. I mean, obviously, there's obviously some dark days in Hope Valley as well. I know you guys have some your characters have some challenges coming up individually. So take us through those.
Well, early on in the season, I think we're going to see this is chicken pox kind of runs through the town.
I see.
And so Rosemary very proudly at the beginning of the episode says, no, I never got it as a child. And then she realizes that's the worst
bad.
thing that could have happened. And she comes down with the chicken pox. Of course, she goes down fighting. She does not want to give in to the chicken pox. They're so
like
terrible.
boiled.
But as an adult, that can be very serious.
Yeah, no, seriously.
Yeah,
especially back
then.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So as you could see in that clip that they showed, so there were 2 very strategically placed chicken pox. The amount of meetings we had over the chicken pox, where they should be put on the body, and how many. I mean, couldn't have any on the face.
Those
can't
weren't just
can't
natural lesions? Those are just yours?
can't ruin the close-up. The neck was iffy. We settled on like 2, and then I spent the rest of the episode like covered. Like they were like, we're not showing any more of
the
that.
chicken pox. But it's true. A lot goes into these decisions. You don't think about that.
I'm okay with that. I don't want to see Pascale's beautiful face covered in boils.
Well, it could be comedic.
Boils. I thought boils would have lent to the believability.
Kevin, what happens to you?
Well, actually, Lee's has a little brush with something as well. There's an accident later on in the season, and they start thinking about the fact that they're not immortal anymore at this point.
Whoa.
Yeah,
it's serious.
It's quite serious.
Okay.
And I think that when you get to a certain age and these things happen, you start rethinking and reevaluating. And I think there's a lot of that happening this season, actually, for both of us.
True.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, lucky for you, Pascale, your brush with the chickenpox happened very early on in life, so you didn't have to worry about the adult chickenpox.
No, I got
situation
chicken pox
fallout.
as a child, so I was good.
Yeah, but with you, Kevin, you seem to have a little bit more in common with your accident-prone character than you would really like. You've had quite a few near-death experiences.
I have. I'm very lucky to be here, actually. I don't know if I was just a silly child or I got into lots of trouble, but I was
Yes
hit by a
and
car.
yes.
Yes and yes, thank you for bringing that up. I was hit by a car when I was quite young, and I almost died from that. I jumped off the roof of a house onto a trampoline, bounced and went so high that I came back down and I landed on my neck on a picnic table.
Oh, boy.
From about 25 feet. I fell off a ferry one time and was almost pulled under by the wake when I was also quite young. And
Motorcycle accident?
Yeah, motorcycle accident where I almost drove off the PCH because I came around a tight turn and there was a cow in the middle of the road. So I had to drop that down. I was hanging over my legs were hanging over the edge.
I mean, I think
It's a long list.
And I think it's safe to say you have angels in a big way.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm like 4 cats put together.
Right, and I'm sure you learned to appreciate life
Yes.
a little more.
No doubt about it. I thought I was like, risky when I broke my toe once. I caught it on like the door frame and I was like in a lot of pain and
Light
everything.
flashes before you.
Last week, that hangnail that we had
Did
to
you
deal
see
with,
that?
the hangnail was
I mean, it was no joke.
scary.
But I'm okay. I'm all right, everybody.
Yeah.
We
Let
don't have to
everybody
worry.
know.
But I'm glad, of course, we can
made it.
appreciate life and be grateful for everything. And we're grateful that you guys were here today. And
Yes,
congrats on season 7.
Well,
it's a big
thank
deal.
you. It's
Lots
a
to
big
celebrate.
deal. Lots to
Yeah.
celebrate. We're all really
New episodes of When Calls the Heart air each Sunday at 8/7 Central right here on Hallmark Channel.